Good morning, everybody. I'm excited to be here with you today. Give me 2 seconds. I'm just going to make sure that everything's coming up on here so that you're able to see. Okay. Good morning, everybody. And I can't turn my sound off. Uh-oh. Give me 2 seconds. I'm just going to make sure that has not happened before. Everything's coming up. Everything's coming up. Okay. Whew. I'm not sure what happened there. It got locked. Okay. Good morning, ladies. All right, so I only have 20 minutes, so I'm going to talk really fast, but then you're not used to that, right? I'm showing the Painted Christmas bundle, and I'm not going to be doing a lot of, like, demoing. I'm going to show you a few tricks and try to tell you about products that might be hidden in the catalog and ways we can use them. So I'm so excited. I've been working on this for hours and hours, as all of us have, I'm sure. It's just so much fun. I'm going to switch over to my other screen so that you can see. So this is the bundle here in the catalog. It's on page 16 and 17. And of course, then because this is a suite, it goes into a couple more pages. So that's sort of nice. There's lots of great ideas that you can copy right in the catalog. So this is the stamp set that I chose. We got this in Maui, and I just fell in love with it. And so you get 2 sets of dies with that. And these are great new labeled dies, if you know, because we're missing things that got discontinued. So I'm excited about those. I'm going to be showing you about these guys a little bit as I show you the projects. And then this set is also in the suite, and so I pulled that in as well. Sayings, and then these fabulous dies. Then we have this gorgeous paper. Let me just show you these real quick. I have them, all 6 of them here. So lots of different patterns. And then in the suite we have these little gold holly leaves. And hopefully you can see they're just how very, very tiny they are. And I've only used 2 out of the set, so it doesn't look like much. Trust me, I'm being very frugal with those. And then this beautiful cherry cobbler ribbon that has, it has a gold shimmer to it and a gold edge. Okay, so let's get started. All right, so first I am going to show you that last die set that I used. And I want to show you a couple things. The very last projects that I worked on, I realized when I cut out a whole set of these, let me grab the die because I don't have a whole piece here. As I was making my cards, I was trying to cut out the little like pine pieces really close, because otherwise, there's a die for this one, but otherwise they look pretty bad. And I spent a lot of time doing that, as you'll see. And then I realized when I cut one of these out, I thought, look at these cute little pine boughs here. So you can see here, I used a bunch of them. I pulled them off of here and I added them to my cards. So here's the little piece here. Look how that really makes that card pop. I was so excited when I figured that out. So I had to tell you guys that, like, very first off, because that was my favorite thing about this whole set. I also need to show you this, because when I cut this piece out, I ended up with this piece, and I went, oh my goodness, that looks like the jungle. And I couldn't find my Wildcat set. I don't know, maybe I didn't order it yet. You know how you want something, but you sometimes forget to order it. So I did have the paper, so I cut a tiger out. It's not a finished card, but it was way too late to make a full card, but I had to show you how cool that was. All right, so that's with this little guy. You'll see some more of that in my samples. Like I have a couple here where I use the gold leaves with, and then I also added this at the last minute. I just added that, and it sets a whole new tone to the cards. And then here's another one with the gold leaf. I did want to mention on these, I used the embossing folders, and I believe these are in the annual catalog because they're not in the holiday catalog. And it's it's these two. Hold on. It's the pine and the snowflake. They come together. They're 3 inches wide. So I will tell you, I sat down with all of my stamps, a whole bunch of paper, and my little shot, my little stamp and cut and emboss. I was so excited because I could just sit there and play for hours, and my big die cutting machine was right beside me. These are our new brushed gems. And then I added just a touch of gold cording here. Okay, and then here's just a couple more. So you can get into a lot of die cutting with this. Whoops. I have little notes here so that I don't forget to tell you things. You can get into a lot of die cutting with this. And, you know, if I'm going to do it for a class, I don't want to cut out 20 pieces for a card. So these two were really simple. I have 2 die cuts here, 1 die cut here. This is just a little piece of paper. This is Poppy Parade. Yeah. Why am I trying to tell you that? I didn't write that down. Granny Apple Green and whatever color, the Coastal Cabana. Poppy Parade, yeah. So the Poppy Parade looks gorgeous with these colors. And so I just have a little piece of that there. And I use this new embossing folder. And I don't, do I have the name of it? Star-crossed. So there's stars at the top and checks at the bottom. So I just put it across here. And just did that little bit there. Let me hold it up so maybe you can see that embossed look. So this is all stamped, very little embossing, and I really like that. This was left over from another card I'm going to show you in a second. Okay, and then this one, I copied this one from, you probably saw it on Demonstrator Planning Place. My camera takes a second to focus there. Using this music background. It is just such a beautiful background. So I did want to show you real quick how simple it is to do that. And this is a 6x6 or a larger one, whatever that size is. I think it's 6x6, so that you can do it either direction. And I did use a regular sponge, but I'm just going to use my sponge dauber. And of course I don't have any scrap paper here to dab off on. And that's key. Let me grab a Post-it note here. And then you just gently rub across, and this definitely gives you a little bit more than our old regular sponges do. How many of you still use your orange or yellow sponges? I just love them. I bought extra before they retired. But anyways, you'll just do that and go over it. You could also use the pastels for that. There wasn't a color in pastels that I wanted for this card, which is the only reason I didn't use that. So I love wiping those pastel chalks across here. And you do have to scrape, just a little FYI, you do have to scrape off the edge of your pastels before you can use them. Okay, so I borrowed Lori Staley. I don't know if Lori's on here today or not, but I borrowed her idea that she posted for her Freebie Friday yesterday. And it's this really cute opening card that we've done before in our group meeting, but not with these new dies. So this one uses a little bit of designer paper, and then both sets of dies, because I've got my little greens here that I added at the end again. And then this one, I can't remember where I saw this fold, but you know, it's the little flat fold that we use. And I decided to make it a tuck and fold. So I did glue one piece of the greens on my flap, but the card opens like this. So it just tucks behind there like that. Okay, next I have a 3D project. So I pulled out our little boxes that came out in the annual catalog. I had this box sitting here ever since we got it. And I didn't love these boxes because I should have brought one that I didn't put together. So it opens from the top, but this whole piece comes off the top. Well, when you put this on, this just gaps here, and I didn't like that. So, but I did the card, and I'm going to show you a couple cool things that I did from the dies. But I realized that because this opens up here, I could glue this down, and I could have glued this whole side down, but I just glued the front and the back, and that doesn't affect the box. So just so you know, if you have these boxes, you probably already know this, but I just figured this out. So you can glue this down and this opens at the top. And I think they just do it in 2 pieces like that so that they can make it flatter for sending to us and packaging. So anyways, but I wanted to show you, let me grab the dies here again. I told you I would show you about these little guys. When I see little things like this, I go like, what in the world is that for? Now, I think there was an idea in the catalog and for one of the cards I'm going to show you. So what I did was I made a strap around here, and it's a little bent because it was trial and error. But I put that little slit here on both sides. So this is completely loose, okay, little belly band. And then I just put my ribbon through that. So that's going to save me a ton of ribbon because I can just hook it right here with my belly band around here. All right, holds it really securely. And with this one, I just stamped the Mary 3 times without re-inking. And again, added those little guys at the end just because I'm telling you, you will be so impressed as well at that little die cut and all the little pieces I still have left to use. Now, I've used most of the big pieces. I did have to do some snipping apart because they are somewhat attached. But so this one uses, I believe I'm using these 2 little dies here. Okay, next, this one I did the same. Except I didn't wrap it the whole way around. I just glued it there as if it was a belly band and tied my ribbon through it, ran my ribbon through it. And I actually have it set. This is actually glued down to the bottom of the ribbon here. So when they open the card, they'll open the card and then they will have to pull it out from this side. I just felt like I needed to do that to finish that card. This is the really light color that's in the packet, and it doesn't show up well on camera, but it's real light green. It has some holly in it. Okay, and then this is the other one that I did with this piece here. So I did it here, and I just ran the ribbon through it, and I tied it with my bow maker, and then just tucked it behind the card here. This is another really simple card. I think this idea was in the catalog. I didn't use the same colors, or something like this was in there, but this idea. I did sponge the edge of this with my Sponge Dauber and Soft Succulent ink. So this is Soft Succulent, Garden Green, and Cherry Cobbler for that card. And the cute little ribbon that when you use the bow maker, it doesn't untie as it's pulling. And again, the brushed metallic gems. Okay, and let's see. I think I'm doing okay for time. So I did a scrapbook page because I love to scrapbook, and when I saw these papers, and I was like, this set just makes itself for scrapbooking. So this is the first page, and what we did was we cut these at 2x4 and just put them across a page. We did add, I wanted some geometric designs, and so we did pull these from Tidings of Peace, so that but the colors were the same, so we were able to coordinate those. And then I just cut one of those big background pieces that I showed you a second ago, one of these, and I just layered part of it here. I realized that it comes apart nicely. It's only attached by like a couple places here. This isn't the same one, I'm sorry. It was the one that I have, that I've used all the pieces. These actually are 2 that will go on top of each other. So anyways, this is like the outline part. And this is the one that I like to cut apart because it's so hairy, I guess. But anyways, I used a half on this side. And then I used our, I think, well-worn words, if that's the right word there. This is my favorite stamp set in the whole set. Barbara was here when I was working on this stuff. She'll tell you, I kept flipping out every time I stamped this. It is so cool. It's a 2-step stamp, and it just stamps gorgeously every single time, and I'm so excited about it. But anyways, and then this is the other page, and we did the punch across here from the other Christmas tree set. I don't remember what the name of it is, but several pieces there. And again, carried the same pattern over from the top of our other one so that they would coordinate, and just did 2x2s down here. And then did the rest of this little piece up here that I used part of it on the other page. And added one pine cone that I had laying there that I hadn't used for something else, and just a bow. And that was, I will try to get a good picture of layout. I can't do the whole layout on my screen. Thank you, Karen. But I'll try to post that so that you can see the whole layout together. And last but not least, I did a decor project, and I'm gonna show it to you on here. And then if I can get my camera to, I had this big hurricane globe, and with a pretty candle in it, and I just said that was calling for me to decorate it. But I didn't want, I thought about putting it on the candle because that would be gorgeous, but I don't want to have to put it away because I hate trying to store candles because, you know, you can't put them in the attic. So I decided I'm not going to change the candle, I'm just going to change the globe. So anyways, so I put a piece of designer paper around it, and then I kept adding to it. Then I put a piece of evening evergreen around. I had embossed it. You don't see that now, so that wouldn't even be necessary. But then I took these guys, and I cut 4 of these in the evergreen, and I just put them next to each other, and they fit perfectly around here. Don't mind all the finger smudges because I touched it 100 times while I was doing it. Anyways, I put those on, and then I made a ton of the pine cones, as you can see, the double layered pine cones to go on here, and then cut out a few of the berries, a few of the other leaves, and ta-da! I'm going to try to show you. I'm going to switch to my other screen since that is my last project, and I'm going to try to hold it up to my camera to see if I can show you how beautiful it looks with the candle in it. So there you go. I think that's everything that I have. Let me make sure I have everything off the bed here and have shown you all of it. So I hope that inspires you, gives you a few ideas that you can use with this gorgeous bundle. And enjoy stamping. There's so many other great things in the catalog that you're going to get to see some of today. Anyways, thanks for joining. Don't forget to refresh your screen either by pulling down on your phone or by hitting F5 on your computer. And I will see you through the rest of the event.